best team of the tournament. Well, I had promises to be an exciting one, and that was what we saw. But by the time we left the studio yesterday, the South Africans were already ahead of thoughts. There will be a fantastic comeback, but the same, they tried, but their best was not good enough. Well, for FIFA, they have confirmed the venue for Super Eagles Central African Republic doubleheader. I will be telling you where these matches will be taking place. And when we look at Europe, you have to give respect to who respect is due. Talking about Robert Lewandowski, he has won the European Golden Shoe because he the award, and he was the best player in Europe last year, scoring the highest number of goals in domestic league. So that is what happened yesterday. And in the American football, they are talking about the Green Bay Packers. They were able to beat the Detroit Lions with 4 Aaron Jones touchdowns. That was how he honored his father. We'll talk about that as the show progresses. These are many more will come on your way this morning on Sports Fiesta, reaching live on 92.7 QFM down here in Benin City. My name is Egusa. I'm the Sports Maestro, and I've got Salih Ibrahim, the Bracadabra Sports, with me on the show this morning. Ibrahim, good morning. Let's begin from home. Yesterday, we thought there would be a great comeback, but it was 6 goals. But the same, at the end of the day, it was South Africa who started on the front foot. They had to hold their own, and at the end of the day, there was nothing the Randy War Drums ladies were able to do. But from what we got from this tournament, and moving forward, because we know this tournament was also part of preparatory for the Hawkon qualifiers and also subsequent competitions. But with what we saw yesterday, what do you expect that the manager will do? We know that some of the players are aging. Do you expect much changes, or rather to see how they can improve from this defeat?
I think it basically told us that we've got so much work to do going forward. The result was scandalous in the first half. 1-0 as at the time we was in the studio, then 2-0 before we left. And before halftime, it was actually 3-0. So Nigeria just did not know what hit them. And then in the second half, they attempted a comeback. We got 2 quick goals, and you thought, okay, maybe the substitution that the coach made was beginning to have an effect. But it seemed like after we scored the second goal, we just decided to go to sleep. Okay, we can get the 3rd goal and the 4th goal whenever we wanted. Because even if that match had ended 2-2, South Africa 3-3, South Africa will have still emerged champions because they won their first game at 3-0 against Ghana. And beating Ghana 3-0 ought to have won the Super Falcons that the South Africans mean business. Their manager, Desiree Ellis, has done remarkably well in the last couple of years. She showed that at the African Women Cup of Nations. We beat them in the final, but it was on penalties. And you know, penalties is a coin toss. It could go either way. In the first game, they beat us 1-0. Yeah. Thembi Kgatlana was just having fun with our girls yesterday. She was just enjoying herself. We have arguably the greatest women's footballer from Africa in Asisat Oshoala. But I practically didn't see Oshoala throughout the second half. Even the first half, she and Desire Akpara just did not combine very well. It was so disappointing. There was really no fluidity in the movement and everything. And you look at what happened in that match against Mali. You had Monday Gift coming in and scoring 2 goals. Naturally, you'll expect that, oh, this player that came in to such devastating effect for Nigeria should be starting the next match. But the coach kept her on the bench again, and she came on and she was largely ineffective. Ngozi Okobi came in, and maybe she did some decent work. And people are talking about the players that didn't play. And you look at some of those players, Francisca Odega and the other girl, Rita Chikwelu, and you are like, but these are not players that you should expect. You will expect that you bring on, they'll come and change the game for you. Of course, they are good players, and I'm not saying that, but these are the players that we've known for how many years now? Francisca Odega, Desire Akpara, and Desire Akpara was at the, we discovered her in 2010. Francisca Odega, Lovett Island, some other girls.
Before that.
No, it was after. It was in around the 2012 under 17 World Cup that we discovered these players, and then they came on and were doing great stuff for for us in matches. But yeah, I know Desire Francisca Odega especially is still young, but she's now one of the veterans in the team. So you expect new players to start coming through. People were talking about Tony Payne not playing. They're talking about Rashida Tajibade not playing. And I'm wondering, whatever Nigerian team we present should be able to win beat South Africa or to win a competition like this, which we didn't do. So going forward, clearly there've got to be some major changes. I really do not understand what is happening, but I think we should have been warned adequately enough from the last African Women Cup of Nations. We beat Cameroon, we beat South Africa, en route to winning the competition. But how did we beat Cameroon? It was on penalties in the semi-final. How did we beat South Africa? It was on penalties. In the past, Nigeria would comfortably beat South Africa. Would comfortably beat Cameroon. We beat Cameroon one time, I think 6-0 in the semi-final. We've beaten South Africa, right? Even when they hosted the competition, we were beating them home and away. But you saw what they were playing yesterday. You saw when we even talk about our players being too old in quotes. Well, they've got Janine Van
Dijk, the captain.
No, she isn't. They even have a new captain.
New captain now. Okay.
But she's in the team, and she played like a Trojan yesterday. Femi Getlana, as I said, was just everywhere. She was just having fun. And there was the other young girl, Linda Matolo, the number 10 for them. Yes, they just had players who were all over the pitch, and they were just, and you could see what the coach Desire Ellis, what she was doing in that squad. So I think it is a reality check. It is a rude awakening. It tells us that if we are not careful, we will not win the next African Women Cup of Nations. Let's even qualify first, too.
Yeah, because we understand we are playing
Ghana. When I saw the figure, I said, well, sorry, Ghana. I am sorry. I don't know what CAF was doing when they paid Nigeria and Ghana, because I know that Nigeria will qualify. But having seen what happened, the Ghanaians will say, well, they were beaten 3-0 by South Africa. But they won their next game against Cameroon. They won 2-0. And the way they played, the Desire Ellis was asked what was the secret by Charles Anazodo yesterday in the post-match interview. And she said, well, they just thought to play to their strength, and that was to keep the ball on the ground, move it quickly, and they felt that the Nigerians would not be able to cope. And that's what they did. They, at one point, they said they forced Nigeria to play the way they wanted, while they were playing exactly the way they wanted to play. So they were dictating the pace, and they were making Nigeria to make so many mistakes. If not for the aberration, like 10 minutes at the beginning of the game. And any other team perhaps would have capitulated. But because the South Africans believe so much in themselves, they took things easy, allowed Nigeria to get that false hope that they were going to equalize. And as we threw bodies forward, they counter-attacked. And what happened? We considered a second penalty, which they coolly converted. So I think it's just, I will not say, you know me about Nigeria. I'm an incurable optimist when it comes to Nigerian issues. But I'm also a realist. And we've got to understand that if we do not stem the tide, if we do not do things differently, then we've got to face the reality that other countries have caught up with us, South Africa especially. So things have got to change. We can't just think, oh, we are the giants of Africa. Nobody can beat us when it comes to women's football in Africa. No, now they can actually beat us. And we've had this in the past. Even when we were the dominant force in African women's football. There was one time when Ghana beat us in one of the group games in the African Women Cup of Nations, but we then went on to beat them 2-0 in the final. You know, they beat us 1-0 in the group stages. We qualified, then beat them 2-0 in the final. So you look at those the former squads that we had when we had Perpetua Okocha, when we had Mercy Akide, when we had Florence Omagbemi and Nkiru Okosieme. Will that team lose a tournament at home that the Nigeria hosted? You just feel that that's not going to. And people have been talking about you know, maybe we should go back to our local coaches handling the Super Falcons. Well, I don't know. It's because
we are not seeing the difference.
In the past, we've handled the home local coaches have handled the team. Let's not also not forget that. Well, the 2 times that we failed to win the competition were handled by local coaches. yes, Nigerian coaches were handling the team on those two occasions that we failed to win it when Equatorial Guinea won the African Women Cup of Nations. So I don't know if a local coach will have done better, but I just know that things have got to change. The way we are going, if we are not careful, then that dominance that we have in Africa will be lost forever. You could have a temporary setback like this. You lose a match like this. Well, it just tells you, okay, you've got to now work harder than what you're doing. You cannot afford to be complacent. You need to go back and get things working well.
All right, we got CJ the Maestro joining us on the show. CJ, how disappointed were you yesterday after the final we saw in that game between South Africa and Nigeria?
I think I was extremely disappointed in our performance. I think it started from the game against Mali, which Ibrahim highlighted. You look at that game, we won 2-0, but sometimes when I look at matches like that, I talk about how you get the win. You know, you watch a match like that, and maybe for somebody who did not watch, the person would think that Nigeria plays so well. It's not the case, for goodness sake. I'm usually interested, how did you get the win? You won 2-0 against Mali, but when we looked at the performance, we analyzed it, we saw that, I mean, you can't play like this against a more fancied opponent like South Africa, and I mean, look at what happened yesterday. So we've got to, raise the bar. I think it's obvious now from what we are seeing on the table that we have issues to sort out. Number one is, yesterday, the link-up play between Asad Oshola and Opara Nozi, I don't know, maybe I'm not a coach.
It was non-existent. We just did not see it.
I'm not a coach, but I can tell you that there's an issue between the two of them which needs to be sorted out.
There is, yeah, of course. You cannot play
from the outside world, from I'm not inside the team, but I can tell you from the body language, if a player and another player has an issue, you should have an idea about it, because it does show on the pitch. And you look at what happened yesterday, there was zero communication between the two of them. You know, they found it difficult to more like pass the ball accurately between themselves, and it's a problem. And then again, some of the veterans of that team have got to go. I think we've gotten to the point where we have to start pointing out names, pointing out players who have, look, you've overstayed your welcome here. You've done enough. You've achieved a lot with the Super Falcons. But look, these young ladies will have to take over from you. You can see that when the coach made a couple of substitutions, brought in a couple of young players, the game changed. So we're heading in a different direction now. So we have to try a couple of things that maybe the coach, if you look at him as a person, maybe finding it difficult to try out. I felt Shola didn't have a good game against Mali. Yes, she provided an assist. I felt she sometimes needs to be kept on the bench a bit for me, because if you look at the 2019 edition of the AFCON, she was non-existent. She was more like, she wasn't just there. You look at the World Cup, it was more like, okay, she came to the tournament, but then she didn't really live up to that hype. And over the years,
she scored that great goal. There was one goal she scored.
Yeah, she scored just one goal in that competition.
Yeah, but that was the Asisat Oshoala that we knew. The Asisat Oshoala that burst onto the scene in 2014 during the Under-20 Women's World Cup. I thought then, and maybe even yesterday, perhaps the position that they play her in, I seem to be having an issue with that, because they seem to be playing her on the wings, from the flanks. I think that Asisat Oshoala is more dangerous when she plays down the middle, when she plays as the target person, because she's got pace, she's got strength, she's got skills. So if you put her there, she tends to do more damage. But playing her from the wings, she's supposed to try and run down the line and then attempt to cross the ball. Maybe it's the positioning. I think they've slightly changed her position where she plays in the Super Falcons. Maybe that is what is creating a problem.
But if the communication is really perfect, I think between themselves, they can switch.
We do see that
they can switch without the coach telling them to switch.
If a coach insists you have to play a particular way, there's nothing. If you attempt to switch it, the coach will sanction you. That's how it works in football. Yeah. Of course, players have done that, but it depends on the kind of a manager that you have. But I am saying that I believe Asisat Oshoala is more effective in a position. I am trying to analyze what the problem is with her in the Super Falcons, because you look at her, the goals have largely dried up. She doesn't score as regularly. She isn't as prolific as she used to be in the Super Falcons squad. Asisat, that we know, could take the ball from the midfield and just run through. She goes crazy, runs through everybody and scores. When was the last time you saw that? The last time we saw it was at the Women's World Cup. Now that was in 2019. Who did we beat 2-0? That we eventually helped us to qualify for the round of 16. No, the round of 16. You know, so that's the kind of player that. And even in that match, I was complaining that why is Aziza playing from the flank, and then they switched the formation. She played as the direct striker. Yes, and that was when she got that goal. So I'm thinking maybe they feel okay. They've got to bring some other players in, and maybe Aziza's position should change. I'm not saying that is what is making her not to be a better player in the Super Falcons squad. I think that even she's the captain of the team, so she has to. I've seen, so I don't want to feel that, oh, there is something that's wrong with her. Maybe she doesn't give 100% and what have you. I was angry when she posted some things on the social media about Nigeria and used some words, and she had to apologize. But I've seen her motivate the players. Yeah. I've seen her when maybe it was halftime or something and they're about coming in. I've seen her talk to the players, try to fire them or try to get them to go out there and bleed for Nigeria. So I know that it's not a question of whether she's disillusioned about the country or something. Even Desire Aquarians, unfortunately, I've read some things from the release that purportedly came from the NFF yesterday. It's not from them, because that's not. Yeah, because it's just not fair to single out one player and then you. I will be really surprised if that thing actually came from the NFF, which really is not what you are supposed to do. I mean, the team is down, of course. Look, these players are even more disappointed than we, the fans, because they know how it is. Nobody is going to insult me now for Nigeria leaders, except maybe my South African friends. They could just send a message to mock that with all your we are taking the batting. We are taking the batting at Super Falcons about Nigeria. Now we're beating you in your backyard and all of that. But that's just it. But these girls are going to get insulted. Yeah. They're already calling them old. They are calling them whatever, saying they should take it easy. They are more concerned about their looks and everything, and because they are having fun, they usually post pictures, videos of themselves dancing, and so people are saying, concentrate on football, you are dancing up and down on the social media. If they had won, of course everybody would say, well done, congratulations. It's because of the spirit in camp, that's why they are playing so well. But now that they're not playing well, it's a problem. So for officials of the Nigeria Football Federation to then single out a player and write that, look, I hope that maybe there will be an explanation and they will tell us, no, it was what do they call this thing? The account has been hacked or something, and it didn't really come from the NFF. Chief makers.
All right, guys, let's go on our first commercial break on the show. When we come back, we'll tell you those that scored the goals, and we'll also look at what to expect on the show this morning. Just stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Do you know that following people without their consent is stalking and it's an offense? Don't be an offender. We give our consent for you to follow us on all our social media platforms. On Facebook at KUFM Nigeria, on Instagram at KUFM Nigeria, on Twitter at KUFM Nigeria. Check out the latest pictures and videos and catch breaking news, entertainment gist, trending issues and happenings on social media by following us at KUFM Nigeria across the various platforms. KUFM, turn on excitement.
Have you seen Captain Mama, protector of the Ayo family? She's making our golden one in the kitchen.
Ta-da! Breakfast is ready!
Mommy, why are you always excited when we have Golden Morn?
Because it helps me nourish you. You know it contains
iron and vitamin C.
Yes, it does.
Enjoy Golden Morn with your family every day. It contains iron and vitamin C to nourish you day by day. Golden Morn, make every day amazing.
The big leagues are back, and DSTV is the only place you can watch it all. Enjoy live matches weekly from the best leagues in the world. We're talking the Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, the Champions League, not to mention the return of the Europa League. That's Salah, Kane, Haaland, Bruno, Lukaku, Suarez, Messi, and CR7.
Oh my goodness!
All week, every week.
You're just lost for words!
Nothing beats the unbeatable football on DSTV.
Anti-wait, straight to the point, we no get time to waste. I feel like you get to your number. *711#.
Is it safe and secure? So many things you can do, it is pure. And it's so easy to remember.
*711#. Yeah, you want to pay your bill, send and receive money. Happy you need to check your balance.
*711#. So easy to recharge my phone. I can close my eyes, open my account, and I'm good to go.
*711#. Oh yeah, tell me the number. *711#. It's easy to remember. *711#. No more banking wahala.
*711#. Keystone Bank. We grow together.
Milo! Yes!
Tell me first, why do I give you Milo every morning?
Because every day I play like a baller, I run like a sprinter, I learn like a scholar, so I need all the energy I can get. You see?
I see very well.
Give your kids winning energy. Milo Active Go, with the goodness of malts, milk, and cocoa, helps them make the most of every day. Milo, the energy to go further.
Uncle Dentist, what be cavities and how Colgate take they protect my teeth from cavities? Say they use Comfort?
No, dear. Now, home for teeth, they cause most tooth pain will be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, take brush every day. The confirmed formula could help keep natural calcium inside our teeth. We could protect them from tooth decay.
Time don't reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate. Because Colgate locks calcium in.
Yes, cavities out!
And the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
Honey?
Yes, dear.
I'm tired of the poor power situation. Every time I stock the fridge, I come back to spoiled food. I think it's about time we go solar.
How?
With Vertical Solar, we can have all our appliances and electronics powered by solar, and they allow us to pay small. We can pay installmentally with as low as 36,000 naira monthly, spread across 12 months.
Tell me more.
I know you like the idea of paying small. Vertical Solar range of products can power all household devices, including air conditioners and water pumps.
What are the benefits of solar power?
We are talking uninterrupted power supply, no monthly electricity bill, no more spending on generator, and no more generator noise.
I see. But how can I locate Vertical Solar?
Head now to 28 Country Home Metal Road off Ajib Junction, Sapele Road, Benin City, or Blossom Mall beside Stop to Shop stores, DBS Road, Asaba. Or you can call them on 0816-170-1105 or 0703-623-4843. You can also send them an email on info@verticalsolar.com.ng.
Vertical Solar, your lifetime power partners.
Indomie welcomes you back to school. Have a session filled with lots of fun and excitement. Stay safe, stay healthy. Indomie noodles, tasty nutrition, good for you.
Shey you say don't tire of the plenty queue wey dey for inside bank or to wait for ATM just when you reach your turn make you see say the ATM dey out of service. Or money no dey inside. Abi you dey look for fast, reliable and efficient way to take do your deposit and your withdrawal. We don bring the right solution for you. Open Mobile Money Merchants. That's the largest merchant network for inside Nigeria with over 500,000 merchants nationwide. Make you rest your mind so you go always get Opay merchants wey dey near you. Download Opay app today and click on top the nearby merchants feature. Make you sef for see Opay merchants wey dey close to you. No be there for endo. You sef go fit make extra money only because of say you become Opay POS merchants and you sef dey offer financial service to people wey dey for your community. Download Opay sharp and make you begin to enjoy this plenty awoof berekete. The Opay app dey available on top Google Play Store and even on top App Store.
Wow, the detergent can come again. Wow. You dey wash plenty and you dey say wow. You fit to win the millions as you dey wash with, wow. Jump 50K every day. Wow. If you not time to take calculate, wow. Million naira full ground. If you want to know how, just check the pack. Wow. Get your own car though when you wash with wow. Detergent, you dey wash show. Million naira bracket for wow detergent promo.
This promo will end for the 25th of October 2021.
A game is about to start. It's a game of fame, love, and betrayal. To remain in the game, watch your back and never lose your guard. Because when you do, you're out. The biggest reality show in Africa, Big Brother Naija Season 6 is back. Don't miss the intense drama this season. Launch weekend starts 24th of July at 7 p.m. on DSTV channel 198 and Africa Magic. Headline sponsor Abeg. Associate sponsor Patricia. BB Naija is rated 18.
At split seconds, there's a lot happening around us, but we can't be everywhere all the time. We've got work, families, and chores to cater to, and most importantly, time to rest. And that's why having reliable partner like KUFM News is important. Sleeping? We don't. We work round the clock, bringing you stories as they break from Nigeria and across the world. We will stop at nothing to keep you informed, because KUFM News is all about you and stories that affect you. Politics, business, human interests, sports, entertainment, just name it. We've got you covered. KUFM News. Timely, precise, spot on.
The ancient city of Benin is at it again. The Edo State capital is set to host the maiden edition of the Betsy Obaseki Women Football Tournament. 12 top-graded professional women football clubs across Nigeria are expected to trade tackles, which includes our own Edo Queens Football Club, in this initiative of Her Excellency Betsy Obaseki, aimed at promoting female football and empowering our girls against human trafficking and other forms of gender-based violence. The football contest will run from September 26th to October 4th, 2021. 4 venues are slated to host the tournament, with finals taking place at the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium on the 3rd of October. Other venues are Univent Sports Complex, Western Boys High School, and School of Health Technology. This preseason football tournament promises to be another extravaganza. Be there. Note, COVID-19 protocols will be strictly observed in all the venues. Signed, Media and Communications Committee.
Welcome back, and in case you're just joining us, it's Sports Fiesta reaching you live on 2.7 KUFM down here in Benin City with the trio. It was the Sports Maestro, Salih Ibrahim, the Bracadabra Sports, and CJ the Maestro. Well, we told you what happened yesterday between Nigeria and South Africa. It was 4-2 in favor of the Bayana, and they made the best team at the Afshabwari tournament. Okay, the players that got the goals for them, though there was an own goal by Michel Alozie, which gave the South African the lead, and also in the 90th minute they doubled their lead. Talking about the South Africa when they had the penalty through Linda Motalo, who scored following the handball by number 8. Then they added more goals, and that was how they won that game. But all the same, I think Nigeria has also tried, but it wasn't good enough because Kechuku was on target in the 53rd minute. But the South Africans had the last laugh when they extended their lead on the 86 minutes. And it was Motalo who was found inside the post, and the penalty was converted by Mamelo Makambane to give them the win. So congrats to them. And before we move abroad, let's talk about the venues for the Super Eagles Central African Republic doubleheader. Remember, they started on a fantastic note, having won their 2 matches, and they are now on 6 points. But their next games will be home and away against Central African Republic. The Super Eagles will host Royal Southwest Men in the March Day 3 encounter at the Teslim Balogun Stadium in Lagos. That will be on the 10th of October, while the reverse fixture will take place 3 days later at the Stade Dajapoma, Douala in Cameroon. And for the Trust side, they are top of Group C with 6 points, having beaten Cape Verde and the Lone Star of Liberia. The top team in the group will proceed to final playoff round. So let's see what happens. Before we talk about the matches that we played yesterday, EFL matches we played, talking about Carabao Cup, and also there were matches in other leagues. Let's talk about the best player in Europe last season who won the Golden Shoe Award. Robert Lewandowski. I think no one will raise an eyebrow following this award that was given to him. 41 goals, equaling that of he broke that of Jandel Muller for the most goals scored in a single Bundesliga season. Fantastic one for him. Fantastic one for Robert Lewandowski.
Absolutely, people like him will never stop scoring. I don't know how he does it, but he's able to get you goals every now and then. Sometimes you look at Lewandowski and then you struggle to even describe him, because when you say he's phenomenal today, he does another thing, and then you say he's good enough. Sometimes you look at him and you ask yourself, well, this guy, maybe he's even 25 or maybe he's 20, because he's above 30, and players like him currently should be maybe winding down their careers, but not for Lewandowski. He's, of course, rolling back the years once again. I don't even think he was this good in his 20s. I think he's getting better by the years. He's, of course, adding to the number of goals he's scored. This season already, we've seen what he's done in the Bundesliga. It's more like a title between him and the big Borussia Dortmund striker Erling Braut Haaland, who is also doing a good job. But I can tell you for a fact, this guy is a born goal scorer, and he will continue to score goals until his legs can no longer carry him. But for Lewandowski, I think he will get more goals before the end of the season. I'm sure maybe will get up to 45 or maybe 50. Who knows? Depends on how it goes for him.
The award is not for best player. It is for the player that gets the most number of goals. So that's why it's called the European Golden Shoe. And they have a system of awarding the title. He scored 41 goals. And if you score 45 goals in another league, for instance, that is not one of the top 5 leagues in Europe. You are not even still going to get the award. But for Robert Lewandowski, at the age of 33, scoring 41 goals in a season, that's remarkable. It's the first time that a Bayern player will be winning this award since Gerd Müller did it in the 1971-1972 season. Gerd Müller, of course, sadly died a couple of weeks back at the age of 75, I believe. And he said he dedicated, talking about Robert Lewandowski, that he dedicated the award to the people who have stood by him every day. And, Cristiano Ronaldo scored 29 goals in the Italian Serie A last season, while Lionel Messi scored 30 goals in the Spanish La Liga. But Lewandowski got 41 goals in the German Bundesliga, which gave him that award. And some other Lionel Messi has won this award a couple of times. Cristiano Ronaldo has also done that, but Robert Lewandowski, clearly one of those that we know will go on to do great stuff, even at 33. And he said it a couple of days back that he's better now than he's ever been in his career. And this is the older, of course, you are at the present, you are the oldest that you've ever been in your life. Any other time in history, you are younger than how you are at this very moment. And he said right now, he is in the best form of his life. And he was 25 many years back, he was 30 some years ago, but now at 33, he's saying he's playing the best footballer. When you look at the goals that he's scoring, you can't really dispute that. He doesn't just do it for Bayern Munich, he also does it for Poland, even though they have a squad that is not that good. But whenever he steps up, he gets goals. So it's great that we are seeing a born goal scorers like this. I think he's also a player in contention for the World Player of the Year award, and I hope that he will get it.
All right, that's what happened yesterday for Robert Lewandowski winning the European Golden Shoe Award. Okay, now we had some matches in the Carabao Cup yesterday, and Manchester City, after their goalless draw with Southampton, they came out smoking, although it was Wanderers. They won that, the convincing one, 6-1.
I should have been 10-0 actually. You didn't even expect a Wycombe Wanderers to score one.
They should have scored against Southampton.
Abi? Yeah. All right, so let's talk about the teams that, of course, won. Brentford trounced Oldham Athletic 7-0. Brentford doing great stuff there. For Burnley, they also beat Rochdale 4-1. For Manchester City, just like I also told you, they annihilated Wycombe Wanderers 6-1. Norwich City 0, Liverpool 3. Preston North End 4, Cheltenham Town 1. For Queen's Park Rangers, they played a 2-2 draw with Everton, and of course it went into penalties. But then Queen's Park Rangers won 8-7 on penalties. Let's also look at the other results here. We've got Sheffield United also playing a 2-2 draw with Southampton. Let's see what the penalties, how they panned out. Well, Southampton won 4-2 on penalties. For Watford versus Stoke City, it ended 3-1 in favour of Stoke City. Yes, and then for the other two results remaining, Sunderland beat Wigan Athletic 2-0. But these are the kind of teams you want back in the Premier League. For Fulham, they played out a 0-0 draw with Leeds United, and of course, Leeds United won 6-5 on penalties. And then
for today, we have Brighton and Hove Albion taking on Swansea City. Arsenal will face AFC Wimbledon. For Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, they will welcome Aston Villa. Manchester United at Old Trafford will play host to West Ham United. Millwall will trade tackles with Leicester City, while Wolverhampton Wanderers at the Molino will play host to Tottenham Hotspur. These are the matches to expect in the Carabao Cup.
There were also results in the La Liga yesterday. Yeah. And then the
for Atletico Madrid, where after drawing their last two matches, both in the La Liga and also the UEFA Champions League, well, yesterday they also struggled, though it was Luis Suarez who got their 2 goals, but they had to fight. It's late to get that to win. Good one for them.
Champion stuff. For Atletico Madrid, away from home, they beat Getafe 2-1. Athletic Bilbao lost at home to Rayo Vallecano 2-1. And then for Levante, they also lost at home to Celta Vigo 2-0. In the Italian Serie A, Bologna played a 2-2 draw with Genoa. For Atalanta, they beat Sassuolo 2-1. And then for Fiorentina, well, they lost at home to Inter Milan 3-1.
Fantastic.
And then let's see if we have fixtures in the La Liga today. Of course,
Espanyol. Madrid will play today.
Yeah, Espanyol will face Deportivo Alaves. Sevilla up against Valencia. For Real Madrid, they will be up against Mallorca. And then for Villarreal, they will play against Elche. And then for the Italian Serie A, Salernitana will host Verona. Spezia will also entertain Juventus. AC Milan versus Venezia. And of course, Cagliari will be up against Empoli. For the French Ligue 1, Lille versus Reims. Monaco up against Saint-Etienne. Montpellier versus Bordeaux. Nantes versus Brest. Rennes up against Clermont-Foot. For Angers, they will be playing against Marseille. Lens up against Strasbourg. Lorient versus Nice. Lyon will play against Troyes. And then, of course, Mainz will welcome PSG. But then, I don't think we're expecting Messi to be part of this game. There's been talk about having a knock in their last fixture.
Sure. No, he has a knee injury. He's going to miss the next couple of games. It has been announced.
Okay. So.
All right, let's look at the transfer gossip, because free agents are still allowed to move, while some are still talking to players before January. Where we can tell you right now that fast striker Anthony Martial will be free to leave Manchester United in the January transfer window. The 25-year-old is open to staying in the Premier League, but could explore opportunities on the continent, with Barcelona a possible destination. For Manchester United and England goalkeeper Dean Henderson, who is 24, he wants a long move away in the January transfer window. For Chelsea, they are preparing new contract offers for England midfielder Mason Mount, who is 22. France midfielder N'Golo Kante, who is 30, and 29-year-old Italy midfielder Jorginho. Where I think when you have these guys getting new contracts, I think it's good to show that yes, you still have to rule for some years. So good one for them. For Chelsea, they were ready to offer 100 million euros, which is £6 million for Paris Saint-Germain and Brazil defender Marquinhos, who is 27 in the summer. Don't you think that's too big for a defender? Come on, don't know what the market
depends on the quality of the player that you are getting. Marquinhos is one of the best central defenders in the world. So if they will get him for that amount, I think it's going to be fantastic. Having him to pair his Brazilian teammates, talking about Thiago Silva, they were both the first choice defensive partnership for Paris Saint-Germain, and Thomas Tuchel was their manager. But I think now, looking at what has happened at Chelsea, looking at young players breaking through, especially Trevor Chalobah, maybe they will feel, okay, there is no need. And remember that they were even talking about Jules Koundé, and if not that his club were holding on, they would have had him. I don't know now whether they will attempt to go in for the player in January, because now definitely Chelsea will not be paying what Sevilla are asking for. They will have to reduce that because of the player now wants to leave. But does Chelsea need him? It's something that we've got to look out for. But Marquinhos, I think, is worth that amount, because you know the quality that is going to bring. If it were an English how much did Chelsea Arsenal buy Ben White? Was it not 50 million euros?
And there's Liverpool used 75 million to sign Virgil van Dijk as well.
Virgil van Dijk.
But he has justified that amount.
Yes.
But
initially, when you sign players like that,
what makes you think Marquinhos will not justify the amount? Marquinhos has proven himself in the French league.
Reformers League.
Thiago Silva at 35, going 36 when Chelsea bought him. I was he's 37 today. He's celebrating his birthday, and there are talks of extending his contract because Chelsea know what they have on their hands. Last match, he was man of the match, playing against Tottenham Hotspur, that have one of the greatest strikers in world football at the moment in Harry Kane, and he's managed to play against the big names in attack that are far younger than him, and he's been able to hold his own. So why would Marquinhos be different? And we know that Marquinhos has also done well for himself in Paris and for the Brazilian national team.
Okay, for Poland striker Robert Lewandowski, he says he does not have to prove himself to anyone in another league. So that was what he said after collecting the European Golden Shoe Award after scoring 41 goals.
Exactly.
I don't think
he has seen it all.
He doesn't. The same sentiment I had when people were like, "Oh, Lionel Messi has got to go elsewhere to prove himself," and all of that. Nobody expected that he'd be going to the French league. And even though Lionel Messi has not scored a goal in France, I don't think we should just write him off and say, "Oh, yeah, do you see what we're saying? With that Barcelona, he cannot play football." No, definitely not. We know that Lionel Messi remains one of the greatest footballers to ever lace his boots. So, generally, I don't think players have got to move. And if you can, if you move, fine, no problem. It's going to add to your legacy, to your greatness. Cristiano Ronaldo has conquered the English Premier League, conquered the Spanish La Liga, conquered the Italian Serie A. Now he's back to the English Premier League, and it's like he never left. So fantastic, great. But it doesn't mean that other players must do it to prove that they are good. No.
Well, there are players in world football I cannot criticize. There used to be 2, now there are 3. I can't criticize Lionel Messi. I can't criticize Cristiano Ronaldo. I cannot criticize Robert Lewandowski. These guys have done a lot in world football, even though they don't score goals anymore.
And they've humiliated big sides.
Yeah, absolutely. They are proving a lot. So I can't just talk about how well they have performed or how they've not done well, how they've missed a chance or how they've not. So these guys are they've gone beyond they've gone beyond a lot of players. Let's just leave them in their class.
All right, for Manchester City, they are monitoring the Real Sociedad and Spain forward Mike Oyarzabal, who is 24. For Arsenal, they will make a German goalkeeper Ben Leno, who is 29, available for transfer. Following the summer arrival of 23-year-old English goalkeeper Aaron Ramsey.
Aaron Ramsey did well over the weekend. Well, you know, we spoke about Aaron Ramsey when he wanted to sign for Arsenal. I think it was about for 24 million or there. But we said, look, you don't get a second choice goalkeeper for that. Either he's coming to take the first team position at Arsenal, or it's more like we look foolish if he's just going to be a second choice goalkeeper and you're getting him for that amount of money. So we're beginning to see that now.
They should be careful in their rush to get rid of Bernard Leno. Leno is a fantastic goalkeeper. I don't understand why
he's having bad
Ramsdale has had he has kept 2 clean sheets and all of that. But look, the season is just starting, and which teams did they play? Norwich City and Burnley. It's not enough for you to say Ramsdale is your first choice goalkeeper. I think they should. And what's wrong with having the 2 of them? Kepa Arrizabalaga that Chelsea bought for £71 million is second choice, but you know, you can see that they are even still keeping him. You know, he came in last match and he was still able to keep a clean sheet. Will you suddenly say Kepa is better than Edouard Mendy? No. So Arsenal have got to be careful not to be in a rush to get rid of Bernard Leno. I think if they can keep both of them happy, they should have them. If they had known, they would not have allowed Emiliano Martinez go to Aston Villa.
All right, guys, let's go on this break. We'll be right back.
The ancient city of Benin is at it again. The Edo State capital is set to host the maiden edition of the Betsy Obaseki Women Football Tournament. 12 top-graded professional women football clubs across Nigeria are expected to trade tackles, which includes our own Edo Queens Football Club in this initiative of Her Excellency Betsy Obaseki, aimed at promoting female football and empowering our girls against human trafficking and other forms of gender-based violence. The football contest will run from September September 26th to October 4th, 2021. 4 venues are slated to host the tournament, with finals taking place at the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium on the 3rd of October. Other venues are Univent Sports Complex, Western Boys High School, and School of Health Technology. This preseason football tournament promises to be another extravaganza. Be there. Note, COVID-19 protocols will be strictly observed in all the venues. Signed, Media and Communications Committee.
All right, welcome back, and let's see if we can still take more gossips before we look at your messages. Well, for Ronald Koeman, from what we are getting, he could be fired and be replaced with Belgian manager, talking about Roberto Martinez. But I don't know if that is going to be a better choice for Roberto Martinez, who is already doing well with the Red Devils of Belgium.
I think there have been so much talks about that. In the last few days, there have been talks about the reach between the president of Barcelona and, of course, the manager of the club, Ronald Koeman. Results have not been coming. They've not been forthcoming. Some persons, some fans of the clubs are saying that Koeman is trying to change the way the club they play their football, and of course, that is a misfit at the football club. Well, it's a bit complicated at this point. I remember last season, at the end of last season, Barcelona was expected to do it with Ronald Koeman when the new board came in, but then they felt like, okay, let's give him another year. Let's see whether he can, of course, redeem his image at the club. Remember, Barcelona did not win the La Liga last season, and you know how it is.
But looking at the number of experienced players that left the club, would you expect Koeman to just come and go into the pitch and play the ball? He has to play with the players at his disposal. You don't have Messi. He does not have Messi. Does not have Xavi. Does not have Iniesta. Does not have Luis Suarez and Antoine Griezmann. What do you expect of him?
They signed quality players this transfer window. They did that. I mean, they brought in some players that some fans are feeling like, okay, we've got it. May not be that Messi-like squad, but they have got a team that should get the job done. For them, Aguero has barely played because of injuries and a couple of other issues at Barcelona Football Club. But I'm thinking for Koeman, I think his days at Barcelona are numbered.
Okay. Before we look at the messages, for Aaron Jones, he honored his late father by scoring 4 touchdowns as the Green Bay Packers beat the Detroit Lions. And last season's most valuable player, Aaron Rodgers, he threw 4 touchdowns as they fought back to win 34-17. That was how it ended. And he said, quoting him, he said, "I'll be happy." He said, the running back, who is 26, he said, "I'd be like, if you lose it anyway, lose it in the end zone." So he lost his father, but the only way to honor him was by getting that fantastic performance. Alvin Jones, who had not missed one of his son's games in 9 years, passed away in April during the close season, and that was at the age of 57. We said, may so continue to rest in peace. All right, let's look at the messages. We know we'll have a couple of them to take before taking the final whistle.
This one reads, "Hi, Mr. Ibrahim and crew. I really don't know where we got it wrong in this country. I believe that you and so many other Nigerians had soft spots in the election and retention of Pinnick as NFF boss, but today, take a look at his decisions, particularly appointments. Make no mistake about it. If Dormats, I don't understand. Nigeria will never qualify for the World Cup. I believe that the crop of players we have now, Amonika is the best fit for Super Eagles job. God bless Nigeria. God bless KFM Sports. Ikechi CG is my name. I don't understand what you mean, Ikechi, by whether we had soft spots for Amadou Pinnick being retained as NFF president. So when they retained him, I don't have any vote. I don't vote. I'm not a part of the electorate in the NFF. So I'm supposed to say Amadou Pinnick is not the right man for the job. They should have voted for someone. I don't understand what you mean when you say we had soft spots for Amadou Pinnick. And talking about the which appointments did he make that you have issues with? I don't know. I don't understand. Maybe you will say, okay, the new code that they brought in and the world drama is not done, but this is not. This is just like a friendly game, and it's supposed to be the slogan of the competition is playing for good, even. So it's not a must win. Although we are disappointed as fans that the Super Falcons didn't win. But it's not like they went to the Africa Women Cup of Nations and they failed to win the competition. So maybe we should take it a bit easy. Now this one says, good morning, sports crew. Ibrahim said the Falcons were beating everybody in the past. That's true, but we must also realize that we are in the present and no longer in the past. Other countries have improved, so the Super Falcons are having stiffer opposition now. Nevertheless, we expect the best from them. Thanks for the good job. Pasco from Adwa. Well, Pasco, I hear what people say, oh, other teams are improving. But if other teams are improving, what are you supposed to be doing?
Are you not supposed to be improving? Are you supposed to be standing
and wait for them to catch up with you? If you've been blessed with so much talent, are you going to wait for other countries to catch up with you? Can Nigeria compete with Kenya and Ethiopia when it comes to the long distance?
No.
That's their territory. No. They know, no, you can't go there. Can Kenya compete with Jamaica when it comes to the sprints?
No.
You know, the best sprinters will always come from Jamaica. So if we have we know that fantastic football talents always come from Nigeria, and we know that our population gives us that advantage. So even if South Africa can also get quality players, because we are much bigger, we can get a larger pool to select from. So it means that a sport where you have comparative advantage, you should be improving. So there is nothing wrong with insisting that we should not allow other countries to catch up with us, and that's basically what we have done, and that's what we are pointing out as pundits, that look, in the past this was better, now we are not doing something right, so let's go back to how we were doing it before. Good morning, men of sports. Let them win all the group and friendly matches. I believe we will win when it's a final, when they need to separate the serial champions and novice winners. Okay, but last final it was penalty shootout, so understand that if you do not improve, they can beat you in a final.
All right, guys, this is much you can take on the show this morning, but don't worry, in the evening we'll take more of your messages. But before we go, let's take the final whistle on the show this morning.
I think it's a great fight, and Joshua will stop him in the first 6 or 7 rounds. Usyk will start fast, and Joshua should be cagey, as Usyk is a bit lighter. Joshua can sometimes lack confidence, but hopefully he goes back to the old him, starts pressing, being the bigger, stronger guy, and gets the job done early. If Joshua sets the pace, he can get an early knockout, and if he is strong, confident, and walks him down, then I don't see Usyk's punches troubling Joshua. British boxer Dillian White's optimistic about Anthony Joshua beating Alexander Usyk in their heavyweight bout on September 25th. And that's the final we see here on Sports Fiesta this morning.
With that, we come to the end of the show. Many thanks to you guys.